Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today. My name is Fatia and I'm here with my guest, Tim Swain. Welcome,
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Tim Swain. For I'm sure everybody, most people already know you. So for those who don't, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, surely. So, Fatia, thank you for having me today. Thank you for being the host today. Sometimes you get tired of interviewing, so
Right.
thank you for doing the interview. But for folks that don't know me, my name is Tim Swain. I relocated to Ghana several years ago, been coming back and forth for about 15 years, and now I'm on a mission to help empower Africans in the diaspora to not just come home, but to collaborate, to communicate so we can be a better people together.
Okay, sounds good. So Tim, you've been coming to Ghana, traveling to Ghana actually for the past 15 years, and now you live in Ghana. Please give us a reflection of how life has been traveling here and now living with us. How has it been for you?
It's been some ups, it's been some downs. When I first started coming to Ghana, I came with a missions group,
Right.
and I was here for 7 weeks. Shout out to the Impact Movement, amazing organization. But I was here for 7 weeks. We went all around the country. I saw different parts of the country, and as I reflect on that time, we didn't do any kind of like cultural engagement. We didn't learn much about from Pan African leaders or anything like that. But then recently, when I started spending more time here, actually on the continent and in the country, that's when a lot of my perspective changed. I began to, kind of sober up, as I tell people,
Okay.
from the realities that you experience coming 2 weeks, 5 weeks at a time to actually, residing here where you have to do things. So it's been some ups, been some downs, been some challenges, been some other things, but at the end of the day, it's all good.
Right. Thank you. So Tim, you mentioned the downs, and of course, for everyone coming here, you expect to have some downs. Would you like to share with us some of the challenges you've had being in Ghana, living in Ghana, the ups, and then let's say the downs mostly?
Oh man, you want to talk about? Okay, hey, the Wahala is here, but I think so. I talk about this so much in my other videos that what I want to do today is really speak to the opportunities. So for challenges, you can definitely check out some of my other content. I talk about the things that I think it's like the 5 things I dislike the most
Right.
about living in Ghana. And so there's a lot of content on that already. But what I see more so now, because like I said, I think my mind has sobered up to the reality of the the challenges that exist, but also recognizing that in the midst of challenges, there's always opportunities. So some of the opportunities that I look at now is people talk so much about the business that you can develop here
Right.
on the continent. And I know that just from my experience, with every challenge comes an opportunity.
Right.
And so now I'm really focused more so now like on the opportunities that are here.
Good. You know, people say, well, this is a land of opportunity, and there are a lot of opportunities that we have here in Ghana. But we also know it's not every opportunity you have to venture into. And so, for you, what advice would you give to people who are looking for opportunities here? And then, what do you want to tell them about, this is an opportunity you should venture into, and this is something you shouldn't go near?
That's a really great question. That's a really great question. Thank you for asking me. When it comes to really selecting what opportunities are for you, particularly in Ghana versus those that aren't, it's really like any other place in the world. So I'll just start with my personal story. I've always had a passion for seeing communities of African descent empowered.
Okay.
Ever since I was a kid, when I read one of my first most impactful books, the autobiography of Malcolm X, is highly recommend. If you've never read it, you need to read that book. Put it as a part of your library. But when I read that book, something inside of me really became stirred up in terms of my love for black folks. And when I went to college, like I said, I got experience with the continent for the first time. And it made that love affair become even more entrenched and in depth and really more substantive. So I'm going somewhere with my story. And I'm saying that we have to start with what our passions are. So for me, my passion was really seeing people come to the continent. So I started with a conversation with a friend of mine, and we started mobilizing people back and forth to the continent. When I got here, then I was able to really spend more time understanding the culture, the landscape, the things that are different from my context, which is the United States. It's very
Right.
different. And then even the differences that we don't talk about a lot, but the differences between, let's say, black people all around the world. Being, let's say, a Ghanaian, the average person doesn't think of themselves as black, right?
Mhm.
But in the States, every day you're confronted with your blackness.
Right.
So I started with really looking at what am I passionate about, and that was mobilizing people to the continent. The next thing I would say, let's say for somebody like me who's just passionate about coming to the continent, well then the next thing for that person would be looking into tourism. If we want to name an opportunity, something specific,
Right.
tourism, right? Let's look at the numbers, particularly if you're someone coming from the States. There's such an increase of people from the diaspora coming back to Africa and in Ghana in particular.
Right.
One of the most recent initiatives was the Year of Return in 2019, where it just stirred so many people, particularly of African descent from the UK and the US, to come back home. And I think that the three pieces of advice I would give somebody, right, specifically if they're
Right.
looking to evaluate what opportunities to be a part versus those to stay away from. Number one, look for something that you are truly passionate about.
Right.
It could be anything. It could be sanitation. Charlie, there's a problem with sanitation in Ghana, so there's opportunities here.
Right.
It could be tourism, because we need more people who operate at a level of high integrity and high customer service to do tours, right?
Okay.
So start with your passion. That's number one. Number two, start with something that you have experience in. If you're a plumber and you want to do plumbing in Ghana, you can do it. There's a lot of people, but there's a lot of people already doing that. The market is already saturated, but here's the
Right.
difference. Most of the people that do it, I guarantee you, they do it at a level that doesn't provide the exceptional service and integrity work that a lot of people are looking for.
Right.
So start with your passion. Start with something that you already know how to do. And I think the third thing is, if you're seriously considering like an opportunity here in Ghana, you got to be here on the ground. Come talk to people who are doing what you think you want to do and listen to them. Hear the stories, listen to their advice, and I think if you start from right there, you'll be fine.
Okay. So sounds good. What about money? I mean, when you talk about the sanitation, you talk about tourism. These are money making opportunities. But I was thinking, what of somebody coming here? You don't know this place. So how do you get here and then start getting into tourism? And then or you get here, you want to go into sanitation, but where do you start from? I don't know if you can go into that a bit, because
That's a good question, because a lot of people say, hey, there's opportunities in Ghana, so just go, right? But where do you start if you don't know this
you get
terrain?
here and then
Well, the first thing I think is, you need to talk with somebody, give you some help. I do consultation. Someone, if it's not me, someone like me who has experience in the continent, they can really help you
Sure.
navigate the different, nuances. You mentioned something that I want to talk about very briefly. You kind of mentioned money a little bit. And, when it comes to financing, like your opportunities, the way I look at it is, it's no different from being in Ghana or any other place in the world. I think about it like this, guys. So imagine if you're watching, you have two kind of bank accounts. One bank account is what you're really passionate about, but maybe you can't make as many deposits right now because you can't get paid from what you're passionate about.
Right.
The other one is you have a skill that you can get paid from. Maybe like myself, you're in higher education or you do hair, whatever it is, right? And this is putting more money in. At the end of the day, those two have to be balanced, because if you are doing what you're good at, but you're not doing what you're passionate about, I guarantee you're going to be bankrupt. So the goal is to be able to have enough money to fund what you're doing, whatever that purpose, that calling is. So let's talk specifically. You come here to Ghana, let's say you're watching this from the States. In most places in the States, even if you don't have any money, you can get a loan.
Okay.
You can get a loan.
Which is different from here.
Hey,
yeah.
Charlie, you want to get a loan.
Well, okay, so Tim, people say, well, this is a land of opportunities, and people just hear it. They say, whoa, I'm coming here. There are a lot of opportunities here. I'm going to make money. But for you, what advice would you? Of course, I would recommend that people who are coming here talk to someone like you who has been here, who understand how the system works, so that when you just jump in, you don't get disappointed, or you don't regret. So can you tell us about the money making opportunities and how someone can be able to explore those opportunities?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's an important question because you can have all the passion in the
Mm-hmm.
world, but if you don't have money, you're not going to be able to go far. And you
Right.
can only go so far on passion. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I know what
That's
it's like to
true.
start a nonprofit organization and run that organization for year after year after year on passion, not
Right.
getting paid one dime. And I'm gonna tell you, after a certain point in time, you reach
Yeah.
a place to where you can't do it anymore. It's just bad business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a lot of people watching, particularly people who are like first generation business owners, they haven't been taught these skills, right? There's a certain entrepreneurial skill set that you need to have. And the first one is thinking about how can you monetize what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about funding, for example. I'm not going to go way in depth because I don't have a lot of like funding opportunities in Ghana, but I can say this. Based off the overall landscape of how it is in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
the likelihood of you getting a project, an idea, a business financed from Ghana is highly unlikely.
Right.
And even if you do, the interest rates are so high that it may not be worth it, particularly if you're looking at the return on your investment. Now, when it comes to something like real estate, if you can get that funded, that may be a little bit different. That industry is different. But if you're doing something like hair care or something like that, it's not as valuable. So let me talk for a moment for my people coming from places where you have credit systems in place
Right.
or you have the opportunity to make money. What I always tell people is this. If you really know what you think you want to do, here's the outline. I'm going to give you a basic outline. Come to Ghana for about 3-4 weeks. Let's say you want to open up a nail shop in Ghana. Come to Ghana for about 3 weeks. Research as much as possible people who do it. Ask
Mm-hmm.
them, how much do you get paid?
Right.
What's your operational versus your profit?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to know first and foremost. How did you get the money to fund your business? In most cases, well, I'm not going to say most, a lot of cases, what you will see is people self-funded. Or people took money from other places that may have credit systems or where they can make money over here where they're getting paid in
Mm-hmm.
pounds or dollars or something like
And
that
then invested here.
and invested here.
Right.
Because the truth is, and it's different, right? Because someone may think who's watching this because they've never been to a context like this.
Mm-hmm.
They may be able to take a card like this, sell it in America for $1.
Mm-hmm.
You come to Ghana and say, well, listen, if I come to Ghana, I'll sell this. The exchange rate is like 7 something, so I'll sell this for 7
So the
CDs.
cities,
Charlie,
and then
who will buy this for 7 CDs,
no one.
right?
Yeah.
But people don't understand that. So what you have to do really is, what I recommend people do is come, basic stuff. You need a budget. Find out how much it's going to cost to get your business off the ground. And then the second question is, where can you get that money? And do not plan on like getting a loan or a grant or anything like that from here in Ghana.
Right.
Get that money from over there.
Because maybe it will probably not be worth it most of the time because the interest rate is high, you are starting a business, and most of the time we even tell people don't come and take a loan to start a business because businesses don't most businesses don't even make profits from the beginning. And so if you have your money you want to start with, you start from start small, then from time you build up. But if you are going to just start with so much like that and you expect to make so much profits, don't be too let's say enthusiastic about
So and I would say that it's even okay to take a loan. It's just that here in Ghana the interest rates are you talking about 15, 20, 25%. At the end of the day, you still have to have the capital to repay back. And the other thing is this, what people sometimes don't anticipate is what we call encouragement fees in Ghana.
Okay.
The encouragement fees is maybe it's the person's job to do something.
Mm-hmm.
They're already getting a salary to do it.
But
Charlie, you have to give them some
appreciate.
Encouragement so the thing will happen.
Right. So
And the bigger your business,
right?
the bigger your encouragement fees are going to have to be. Seriously.
Yeah, that's why we encourage people to, research,
Yeah.
ask questions, because things may be a little different from where you are coming from. So talk to people who have been here, consult, make sure you have people on the ground who are your front and working for people you can trust, because some of these things help. So again, Tim, what's the future for you and Ghana? Are you going to be with us like forever? Or what do you see for us,
The future of Tim Swain in Ghana.
Uh-huh.
I'm still trying to search for it. No,
Okay.
you know, when I first came to Ghana,
Mhm.
I didn't see myself living here.
Okay.
About 6 years ago, I saw myself living here. Now that I'm living here, I see myself definitely being integrated into Ghana, but the way that I imagine it may look different. So let
Okay.
me break it down very simply. I think about now, my mind has shifted from being like just being local in Ghana all the time to really being like more of like what I call a bicontinental or multi-continental citizen,
Okay.
where you going back and forth to different places. And I think that that's the wisest thing to do because what I've learned in my past 15 years is that number one, I feel like God positions us for a purpose.
Okay.
No matter where I am, I'm supposed to make an impact. I
Right.
know that a part of my impact is in Africa and the diaspora.
Mhm.
I also realized in my past years of being here is that you have to have the right financial foundation in place. And the truth is, man, I'm blessed to be a citizen of the states. And a lot of us who live in the states, I know so many of y'all email me, y'all whatever, and y'all just trying to get out. But we don't realize that when you have that blue passport, you really have a lot of access that a lot of people don't have.
Right.
We also have a lot of systems, and so what I realize now, my future in Ghana is that my vision is very big for the country. I mean, I envision um, training young leaders from all over the diaspora
Which is good.
right here on the continent to
Mhm.
really go out and be global citizens. But I realize that there's a lot more learning that I have to do. There's a lot more of a foundation in terms of relationally, financially that I have to put in place in order to do that. But that's something I definitely imagine myself doing. And long term, I see myself having a legacy where my grandchildren can come here
Okay.
not as a holiday, but it's now part of their legacy and a
Okay.
part of their history.
It's like a home for them.
It's their home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, so yeah, so now at least we all would understand that you had so much experience being in Ghana, traveling to Ghana first, and then living in Ghana, being able to integrate with the people, making friends, going to the market. You even in the area of financing and everything. So then I understand that you've put all this knowledge and wisdom in a book, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. So it's been years, right? Years and time.
right?
So I got a book coming out.
Okay.
Actually, it will be out by the time this airs, but it's called Aquaba, right?
Okay.
The ultimate guide to your stay in Ghana. And what I did was I compiled my 15 years of experience. I put it in it's a lot of information, but it's very easy to understand. And it's broken down into three main chapters. The first one is all about, three main sections. The first one is if you're planning your visit to Ghana. So that's all about you just want to come have a great time in Ghana. I break it down, it's amazing. The second section is you visited, you have a taste, now you want to relocate.
To Ghana,
And I
okay.
break down everything you need to know. In the last section of the book, I got graphs, I got charts. One of my favorite resources that's in the book. If nothing else, you have to get the book for this reason alone. I got a list of 50 important questions you need to ask
Ask.
when renting or finding a place in Ghana. And I got important questions such as, where does your water come from? Do you have backup electricity? When was the last time the septic tank has been changed? And these are a
Right.
lot of questions that people may be unfamiliar with if you've never lived in a context like
Yeah,
this.
because they just assume.
You just assume.
Yeah.
But I've learned from a lot of money spent and a lot of time spent that if you just ask these questions, listen, I've already saved you like hundreds of dollars just with these questions.
Right.
So the book is here. The link is right there on the description, and I definitely it's an ebook, so you can get the book right now, click it, and download it so you have it immediately.
So we say experience is the best teacher. So for people who are watching, people who are thinking I want to come to, even as even if you want to come as a tourist, get the book, read, and get the wisdom before you are here, because sometimes you can get here and then you find yourself like somebody who is in a vacuum, because you just don't know what to do, because things can be so different that
Let me tell you a quick story.
yeah.
There was there was a woman I was talking to from the U.S.
Right.
and she was just so excited about living in Ghana. And I won't share too much of her story, but this is the part that stood out to me. She told me that some days she literally had to stay in her house because she was so frustrated with every day going out, people trying to chop her money,
Uh-huh.
stuff not working right. She paid, for a building, and then somebody comes by and steals some of the supplies. So she said that if she went out some days, she would have hurt someone. So she
Right.
just had to stay in the house because she didn't want to hurt anyone that
Because
day.
she's frustrated. Maybe you just you think, well, you ordered the car is not coming on time. There's so much traffic you didn't anticipate. So sometimes these are some of the things that you should ask before you are here. Even for me, when I go to Nigeria, sometimes I see things are a little different. So it's good to have some prior knowledge before you are here, so that you will not be you may be disappointed sometime, but so that it doesn't come as a shock to you.
Yeah.
Because people come and then they get so much shock, like, okay, and then they just go back, and all they think about is the negatives.
Yeah.
But if you have some knowledge, so then when you experience some of these things, it's not so much of a surprise to you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, sure. So Tim, so what three pieces of advice can you give to people who are watching and thinking of, well, maybe I'll just pass through someday.
If they want to pass through Ghana
Uh-huh.
someday, no problem. I would say, number one, I'm not saying this because I wrote the book. I'm saying it because it's true. Get the book.
Right.
I mean, the book is, I don't know how much it's going to be right when you see this, but from $9.99 or $14.99, we're talking about pennies, right?
Okay.
Pennies right now. Get this book. The information is amazing. The second thing is just put it on your calendar. Like right now, as you're watching this video at work, or at home, put on your calendar right now which month you're going to go to Ghana, and start like telling yourself, this month I'm going to Ghana. The third thing is just plan to make it happen.
Sure.
And once you get here, especially if you're coming for like a holiday time or what we call vacation time, some of the stuff I'm talking about when you relocate, you don't have to worry about. And I guarantee you, in most cases, if you come here for that 7 days or that 10 days, you're going to have an incredible time. But you have to put it on your calendar.
Right.
Like, say, I'm going to go to Ghana this day or this time, and just make it happen.
Yeah, sure. And then again, you can also watch some of the team videos with
Sure.
people who have come here, even just as stories, because, like I said again, experience is always the best teacher. But sometimes you have to learn from the experience of others. You don't have to always have to go through it before you know. Yeah, sure. So watch some of these videos, and then, sure, you learn some lessons before you are here. All right. So thank you so much for being with me, Tim. So for everyone watching, get the book, read, watch the videos, and then again, like this video, share, and then subscribe. Thank you.